Today in the Toyverse, folks, we are looking at the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collector's case 8-pack based on the animated film series. This thing is amazing, folks, and I have to tell you that this thing's so big and there's so much figure goodness inside that I'm going to be splitting it up into two reviews, one of which today will be covering the bad guys, if you will, and then in a couple days I will review the turtles themselves. But with that being said, this may be the toughest task I've had yet to do. I'm going to go ahead and show you the artwork on the package and the contents inside, and then we'll get all set up with the figures. So as you can see, we have the collector's case right here. Beautiful artwork on the front. You have the turtles coming out of the sewer, ready for battle. We bring it around to the side. More great artwork here. And on the back, we have the bad guys. We got Shredder and Krang right there. And we got some foot soldiers. And then if I flip it down like this, if you can see it, we got some nice turtle artwork there. I mean, this thing's wonderfully done. And the turtles are fighting in front of the convention center in San Diego. Now, here's the interesting thing about this collector's set. It was limited to 5,000 pieces. They sold a bit online, which is how I got mine. I was unable to attend San Diego Comic-Con. And then the rest were sold at the con. So that's the only way you're going to be able to get this fantastic product. So you're going to have to hit the second-hand market if you didn't get it one of two ways that I just explained. But enough about that. Let's look at the side here. This is a very throwback collector's case to the late 80s through mid 90s style of toy collecting, if you will. They had these collector cases things where you'd stick your figures in and then you'd take them wherever you wanted to. I had several. I had like a real Ghostbusters one. I believe I had several turtle ones. But the nice thing is it has these nice metal clasps here that open up. And here are the contents. So, like I said, the turtles will come later on this week. And for all intents of the interview, we're going to be looking at the bad guys here. So, let me go ahead and pause the video, and I'll get them all set up, and we'll talk about them. And here are the figures unpacked and ready to be displayed. And I will be honest, I am happier than a pig in crap right now looking at these phenomenal figures. NECA has painted and sculpted and articulated overall a fantastic group of figures right here. Let's go ahead and bring Shredder in first so you can look at some of the details here. I mean, in many regards, these things look like they jumped right out of the cartoon. And I'm very satisfied with that. I'm very happy with that. And you got nice shading throughout. You got a cloth goods cape here, which is nice, don't get me wrong. I wish there was some articulation in it, like a bendy wire. And I'm not so much of a fan of the material they use, because it just kind of, it's baggy. I don't know how else to describe it. But that's not to say I hate it, because I really do like it overall. We got nice shading and painting throughout. We got the sculpted blades and spikes here all throughout the figure. I mean, just wonderfully crafted. Let's go ahead and bring in Krang now. Looking wonderful. Great paint apps, like I said. These things, once you hold them in your hand, you find a new level of appreciation for them. Let's bring Krang's walker in right here. Sculpted and painted wonderfully. You got even some nice details on the back here and on the side. I'll break this down more in a little bit. And then let's bring in a foot soldier here so you can see that. Look at that. We finally have an accurate cartoon foot soldier. I'm just in love with it. I wish I could get more. Hopefully down the line, NECA will find a way to do that for us. But for now, I am extremely satisfied. Very nice sculpting and painting throughout. Like I said, I'll keep saying that because it's very much true here. Alright, I put them all back together. Let's go ahead and bring Shredder back in here. Let's cover articulation on Shredder first. So, in terms of the head, Shredder can do the Exorcist 360 thing. He can go side to side. He can go down, not so much up. That's possibly because of the helmet. As for the arms, The arms do go out. You can spin them around. You do have the shoulder pads right here. They are attached to the body. It would have been nice to have them attached to the arms, but it's not a deal breaker. But if you move it out of the way, you can get the full 360 there. And they go out and in, so no problems with that. And they rest very nicely. He does have a bicep cut, double jointed elbows, and a hinge and swivel at the wrist. Upper body, this is where he's different from the foot soldiers. You do get a bit of a ball peg action right here. So you get a little bit of an ab crunch type scenario going here. And go forward about that much. And can go back, not really. You do have a waist cut. So that's nice. And the arm's the same on the other side. In terms of the lower body, we have a softer plastic material right here that's split down the side. So Shredder can do the splits. Can bring it back down. We do have a thigh cut right here. And the leg can go back that much. And it can kick forward pretty high for that nice ninja action. Double jointed knees. We do have a boot cut here, if that's your forte. We have a ball peg at the foot. Allows us to go back that much, go up that much. You do get some pivot action, not a lot, but enough. And you got a toe hinge. What the hell is on my finger? It's weird. Sorry. And we do have a toe hinge here. That goes up and down and works very nicely. So, wonderful articulation on the Shredder. As for our foot soldier here, he does have a neck that sticks out and the ball peg's attached that way. I believe it's a double peg because you can go up really high. You can go down. Not as much, but you can make it work. The arms do go out that much. You can get them a little higher if you mess with it. Just heat it up or stick it in some water. They go 360. Bicep cut, double jointed elbows, hinge at the hand. Same type of cut here at the lower body. Does have a waist cut. No ball joint in the diaphragm area. So that's a little unfortunate, but it's not a deal breaker. The legs do go out that much. He can kick forward that high. He can go back that way. Thigh cut right here. Double joint knees. You got an ankle ball peg here that allows up and down. Toe hinge and a boot cut. And for Krang, here's the cool thing about Krang. For the walker itself, can go all the way around and do a 360. It does have a hinge right here that allows to go forward and back. And the walker's spider leg type things do spin around, so you can get some cool posing with that. So, you open Krang up here. His mechanical walker here. What you're going to want to do is you take Krang, you want to unplug his hands. And then you stick Krang in here. Shut it. Set it. And forget it. Nah, just kidding. Just stick the ball pegs in there. And this is really neat because now you can have Krang using his hands outside of the his body in the walker. Very, very cool. Really digging that. Very much so. So that pretty much covers articulation and sculpt. Let me set this stuff aside and we'll go over accessories. Alright folks, here are the mega ton of accessories you get with this collector's set. You got multiple hands for the ninjas on the left side of your screen. You got open karate type hands. You got some gripping hands. They do come packaged with the fist hands, but one of the foot soldiers I put the open hands on. You get 2 ray guns, which is very awesome. On the right side of your screen, you get multiple hands for Shredder. You get some fisted hands. Once again, those were on the figure originally, but I now have the open hands on him. You also get some ninja hands. You get the Krang communicator. Look at this thing. If the camera will work with me. Detailed and painted very nicely. You get a sword, if the camera will work with me. And you get the mutagen gun. Looking very nice. And we get a can of ooze here. and we get this little tripod stand thing. Now, why this is awesome is, if I grab Krang here real quick, I don't think we ever got that in toy form. I'm not 100% sure, but it may be the first time we've ever gotten it in toy form. So what you do here, I'm plugging Krang's hands back in. You take Krang, and he's got this little circle on the bottom of him. You just plug it in here. See if I can match it up right on camera. And there you go. Scoot this out of the way, and Krang can now sit on that little tripod thing. How awesome is that? NECA thought of everything with this thing, and I'm super stoked that they did. Let me go ahead and remove all this junk. We'll do a size comparison and call it a day, folks. Size comparison, folks. So for our first size comparison, we have a foot soldier amongst various different turtles. I can't find my classic arcade turtles. Hopefully by the time I record the turtle side of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I will be able to locate him. So as you can see, the only one that this doesn't really work with in terms of foot soldier-ish is the Playmates Classics Donatello. So I think everything else works really fine. I know Bebop and Rocksteady are in the little short end of things, but you can definitely make it work. It's not that big. And the SH Figuarts Donatello, or any of the turtles actually, works just fine. And even the old NECA Leonardo and that brand of turtles will work fantastic as well. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the other foot sets. I don't have the New York Comic-Con or the last year's exclusive set. But there is a size comparison in terms of the foot soldiers. And here is another comparison. Shredder alongside Bebop and Rocksteady from the Classics line. These two really work together well with the Shredder. Like I said, it's only a couple of quarter of inches between the Classics and the NECA Shredder, so it's not horrible. However, the first Gokin Shredder towers over the NECA Shredder, and so yeah, there's that size comparison for you. And our second to last size comparison, here we have Krang next to Bebop and Rocksteady, and then we have the first Gokin Krang's body. Sorry, brain fart, folks. This has been a long interview, or review, excuse me. I'm doing it again. So, this works very nice as well. I do like the first Gokin Krang a lot, but the NECA one is very phenomenal as well. They both have their pluses and minuses. You can fit the Krang inside the first Gokin body, but it's pretty spacey in there. Let's do one more size comparison and call it a day. And just for the fun of it, I did put the Krang inside there, and as you can see, lots of room to move around, but it's not horrible. And then I left Bebop and Rocksteady in there, Krang's walkers behind there, and then we got the foot and Shredder. This is a very beautiful image. I do like the fact that I'm able to do this now with a lot of my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. Here's hoping that after San Diego Comic-Con and as it gets closer to next year, maybe NECA will do a Krang Android body. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But I am very happy with the foot side of the set. They've given us plenty of villains to go with. Unfortunately, like I've said, you're only going to be able to get this on the aftermarket now. If you didn't attend San Diego Comic-Con and you weren't lucky enough to get one of these during the online sale they had not too long ago. But do I think it's worth it? Yes, as long as the price is reasonable. Don't go robbing old ladies and knocking over liquor stores trying to get your hands on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle San Diego Comic-Con box set. So that's going to pretty much do it for the review, folks. Thank you, as always, for sticking through. Like I said, I broke this up because I didn't want you guys seeing like a 30-minute video on 8 action figures. So tune in next time as we go over the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle side of things. If you haven't already, go check out BigBadToyStore.com for all your collectible needs. Go to Extreme-Sets.com as well so you can get your hands on some awesome dioramas and backdrops like the one you see in this video. Also, for all things geekery, be it video games, Marvel, DC, indie, movie reviews, you name it, go to undercovercapes.com. You won't forget it. A special shout out to a friend of this show, the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show. Go check out their programming. You can throw that in your Google machine and find it. And lastly, if you're into toy photography, use the hashtag ToyLoverCrew to be featured on Instagram, and throw a follow at Toy Lover Crew as well. They're good people over there. You're going to love the toy photography you see. Please stay tuned for the end at the slideshow. Thank you guys all so very much, and until next time, tally ho.